All right, St. Louis. I'd like to say good morning, St. Louis, on this wonderful Saturday morning, St. Louis. St. Louis, I'm not going to say goodbye, St. Louis. Oh no, oh hell no. Let's go to school, St. Louis. The time is now for us to wake up. We've been asleep long enough, St. Louis. We've literally been asleep. And the reason we've been asleep is because we've been following so much darkness. Those that are leading us and have been leading us from the church to the governmental offices throughout the world are asleep, just as you are asleep. The blind unquestionably, undoubtedly is leading the blind. And we've accepted and acknowledged that as truth. It's not true. It's not true. I want you to imagine a flower. Before the flower blooms, it literally thinks it's a flower. That's before it bloomed. In other words, it never truly bloomed. It never reached the sound necessary to leave the place in which it called home. It looks like a flower. It smells like a flower, but yet it possesses a different sound. Many of you, or some of you, might understand what the laws of thermodynamics is basically referring to. Entropy continues to increase and energy is never destroyed. It changes states. And that's the same thing that's happening to us. But yet we haven't reached a higher level of intellect to understand that's what's happening. So before we understood, there's always perishing. There's always death. And the death has become normal. We normalized it. We prepared for death. We got life insurance. We eventually came up with what we think, and we say mama and them got their wings. You're living in a false perception of truth, and you don't even know it. We must travel deeper into intellect, because if we don't, everything that you're seeing, taste, touching, and smelling will remain the same. And not only will it remain the same, nothing will change. You will continue to finish school, get married, buy that house with that white picket fence, buy a couple of cars, take a couple of vacations. And as you do these things, you fail to realize you're not growing in power. You're depleting in power because you never reached the perfect state of mind to reverse the laws of thermodynamics. The laws of thermodynamics is basically referencing that energy, or I should say, entropy continues to increase. More disorder, more chaos, more pillage, more wars, more rumors of wars. Even though we're not having a conflict right now, everybody's gearing up just in case. We got our military, our Army, Navy, Marine, and Air Force, Coast Guard. We got everybody ready to go just in case Russia or China decide they want to do a sneak attack on us. So everybody's on guard. But the question is, why are we on guard? We are on guard because we're living in a system that keeps you on guard. If you were no longer living in the system, you will literally be reversing the laws of thermodynamics and stopping time at the molecular subatomic level. And as a result, you would be on guard. Your level of sound will change. You will begin to see everything as it is. Just imagine when you're always hyped, you can't really see beyond the level of hypeness because you're always trying to figure out who's sneaking up behind you. So you're always living in fear. Fear is a negative sound. Just imagine the whole universe living inside a gallon jug, 1 gallon jug, 7 billion folk in 1 gallon jug. And the 1 gallon jug has fear wrote on the jug on the outside because everything within the jug is living in fear. But they've grown to accept the fear as normal. They got a high level of intensity as it relates to anxiety and stress, depression. Based upon the depression and anxiety, they come up with all kinds of infirmities and diseases, cancer, heart attack, diabetes, and strokes. Coronaviruses and all kinds of viruses from the flu all the way down to the Black Plague back in the early 1900s. We got some problems. And until we wake up and stop having fun, as we call fun, and understand that you're not having fun, you're playing a game, and the game you're losing because you're dying every day. Your kids are sick. They're dying of cancer. The elderly dying of cancer. 150,000 people die every day. 50 plus million die every year. But yet, we think that's normal. That's not normal. That's a lie straight from hell. As I said, the gallon jug has the letters F-E-A-R written on the external, and that means fear. Everyone in that system is abiding by the system, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. It's to the point where it's so bad, you're going out seeking those that you can have and be with because you want something that they have, but yet you realize what you're getting. You're getting further into hell when you attach yourself with darkness. You must work to climb out of the gallon. And you don't have to climb, you just have to change your sound. If you can get rid of the fear by traveling inward, just like a glass that's shattering all around you, noise. You know how negative noise is. Just imagine if you could make that glass reconfigure itself back on the table, reconfigure itself back to the place in which it was made, reconfigure itself back to where it was made, and as a result, go in the opposite direction and make a different glass, which will present a different sound. We unfortunately are living in darkness. We're driving our cars, we're having fun, we're partying, and we prepared our life based upon death because we were under the assumption that we will one day die. And the reason we believe that we will one day die is because we never left the gallon jug that has the letters F-E-A-R written on the external, which stands for fear. We must get to a point where we can come to the realization that we are that lily in the valley. We are Alpha and Omega. We are first and the last. We are that bright and morning star. We can do this, St. Louis, Chi-Town, Alabama, Georgia, the Bahamas. We can do it. We can do it, Florida, Oregon. We can do it. It's imperative that we do it because if we don't, you're going to lose your teeth. You're going to lose your hair. Your cells are going to mutate, make bad copies, and cause you to be subjected to hell on earth, which is viruses and plagues and all kinds of bacteria. But if we can change the sound bit by bit as we reverse the laws of thermodynamics, if we can change the sound, we can change our place in space and time. We can do it, St. Louis. All or nothing. We can't sit back and just expect it to happen by osmosis. Stay tuned. I'm fearless, and I'm afraid of nothing. Time is now. God bless. Trust me.